Okay, welcome back. This is James Possible, and we are now on part 4 of the Metatrader 4 ExpertAdvisor, the SaveMT4TickData EA. All right. I'm just going to pick up from where we left off on the last video, and we're going to keep going through this until we actually make our way all the way through the discussion around this EA. And EA is short for ExpertAdvisor, and ExpertAdvisor is a plugin that's used in Metatrader 4, and that's not a discussion for this moment, but we'll definitely talk about it later on. It allows you to automate processes within Metatrader 4, and the process right now that's being automated with this particular ExpertAdvisor is the capture of price data, or more specifically, BidAsk Data. So with each price update, which is called a tick, that data is being captured by the ExpertAdvisor, saved, and so there's really nothing to do other than drag and drop and click, and then understanding how to use the data that is saved from the ExpertAdvisor. So let's jump in, and okay, we left off in Excel, and we also talked about the data files that are created by the ExpertAdvisor. So I just quickly wanted to touch on that real fast. Those, how those are found, and this part's going to be a little redundant, and that's okay because I really want you to get this part of it. The easiest way to access any Metatrader 4 or MT4 information is to use the File menu. You open Data folder, and from there, that takes you to this. And this is the location of all your Metatrader 4 files. So this is the actual install location, and in that is where you find all your information. So if I double-click templates, you see I have all those templates, right? If I double-click profiles, you see there's some profiles there. If I double-click logs, you'll see there's log information there. History, that's where the data from the data that is that Metatrader 4 manages on its own is all stored in this place. Symbol sets, that's under there. I have my own symbol set. I'll just show you that real quick. You see, so that's the list of the symbols that I'm interested in watching. Close that. Let's go back. That's history. Let's go back one more. Config. You see, there's how these are setting files for Metatrader 4. And okay, MQL4. This is where a lot of good stuff happens right here. Okay, so your indicators. That's where all your indicators live. your expert advisors are right here, and there's this one right here. Here's the SaveMT4TickData build 17. Go back, and then files, and this is where all the data that is captured by the SaveMT4TickData ExpertAdvisor. So the ExpertAdvisor saves all that data, all that price data, in this folder, the MQL4 files folder. Okay. All right. Now let's look at real quick. Let's see here. Let me minimize that. Okay. So how I set the ExpertAdvisor up, the naming structure. So let's do this real quick here. Hang on, let me get back to it. Oops. Okay, so each data file has the symbol name, and what you'll see here is that this setup right now is capturing data for both Euro USD and USD JPY. Now, there's something very specific you need to know about Metatrader 4, which I talked about in part 3. So you'll need to go watch part 3 to find that. Okay. So next, there's the date, the data of the data. So this is the date that the EA started capturing data. So you'll notice that all these have the same date. So the expert advisors started capturing data for the Euro USD, the USD JPY on the same day. And next, then we have the time, which is the chart time, actually. So this is the hour, 20, the minutes, 12, and the seconds, 55, right? And what that does is that just keeps that startup file, like when it starts up, it goes down to the second. That way it's going to be a unique. It doesn't have to delete anything. It's just unique. And then next, finally, the last piece of naming structure that is important is this number, and this number just increments. So the first file that's created for a given pair is 0, and then the second file is 1, 2, 3, 4. And I mentioned this before, each data file contains 101 records. After that, it creates another file, 101 records. So the first record, so 0, there's 101 records there. It goes to creates the next file, which is 1. 101. There's 100. Once there's 101 records there, then it creates the second file, number 2, which is actually 3 because it starts with 0. And so there's 101. Once there's 101 records in that, then it goes to the next. Keeping these files small like that allows Metatrader 4 to process easily this export data. So it's really important that you don't cause lag or cause the system to struggle speed-wise and efficiency-wise. So there you have it. Okay, so now let's jump back into Excel, right? We were in such a fun place. Let's see. Okay, so slide back a little bit here. Okay, in part 3, I had walked you through, let's make this bigger. Okay, I had walked you through how the tick data is translated into a candle, a price candle. So how does tick data go from right here, this bid ask, to this candle data? And that's, I'm going to dig in deeper with that, okay? The thing is, remember we have bid and ask data. In this particular example, we're just looking at bid data. Why are we just looking at bid data? Well, when you go back to your chart, in Metatrader 4, this chart, these price candles that you see here, they represent bid data. Only bid data. So let me be real clear with that, okay? In Metatrader 4, the price charts are based only on the bid data. Boom. Okay? Meaning the price candles, price bars, or line charts are displaying bid data. Only bid data. Boom. Okay? You really got to understand that. So the other side of that is the ask. Flip back to the chart. So up here on the top left, and let me do a quick zoom in there. Okay. So this is where it comes in. So we have the two sides here. This side is bid data. And let's go to, let's make this a different color. Oops. That's an ugly color. Let's go with the darker color. There we go. And this side is ask data. Slide that out a little bit. Okay? So that's how you see bid data, ask data. So sell, buy, bid, ask. Sell, buy, bid, ask. So when you sell, you're going to sell on the low side, which is the bid data. And let's do this real quick, which is the low price. Oops, hang on. Low price. And then the ask data is the high price. All right. Let's get these up a little bit here. A little cleaner. organize a little better. Okay. So there you have it. And between the bid and the ask is where the market maker is working to make money. Now, the market maker has other ways to make money, but out of the gate, right out of the gate, this gap or spread is how they make money. All right? And on your price chart, all you see is bid data. That's it. Nothing more. Okay? Now, I have two lines. If you see, there's two lines right here. That top line is the ask line. So remember, I said the bid price is the low, the ask price is the high. So on top, I know this is going a little beyond the, but that's okay. I think this really want this ask price. So that's the ask price. See if I can keep that there long enough. And then down here is the bid price. Okay? So the ask, setting that ask line, which is F8, you go to common, and right here it says show ask, and I'll zoom in on that for you. Oops. And then zoom in. Right here is the option to show ask line, just a line, not a candle, but just a line, right? So that's in properties and in the common tab. Okay? And that's how you get that to show up. So if I uncheck show ask line, boom, all we have is one line. Now, for the trader, you're really flying blind right now because you're not really grasping how the bid and the ask are interacting on this chart. So you can do a right click and go to properties, or you can just press F8, and then I'm going to check it, and then the two lines will be back. So the top line is the ask, the bottom line is the bid price. All right? Cool. Let's go back to Excel. And so right now we're looking at the bid price. And I know for some of you that's going to be easy and obvious, and I just have to cover all the bases. So I know we're all on the same page when I'm going over different detail. So here comes the fun part. Well, fun for me. I get a little geeky about this kind of stuff. All right. And I took the time to do some of the Excel stuff ahead of time. So hopefully you'll appreciate that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to number these candles, right? So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to go candle number, okay, just so you know what that is, okay? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to 0, and then I'm going to drop in, right after that, I'm going to drop in this formula, and it's just, and we're going to go down here to the end. Oops. Okay, what did I do? Okay, this was working. Okay, so right here it changed on me. A7. Yeah, so this should be Q6 plus 1 go. Yeah, okay. So that's candle 1, candle 2, candle 3, candle 4. And so next, so now what we're going to do is we're going to so we have 4, 5, so we have 6 candles that that I highlighted, right? Okay. So next, come here. Yep. Okay. And then, so that's going to be the symbol. If you've ever exported data from Metatrader 4, you'll see that this mirrors that. Okay, so now we have the symbol, so we have the candle number, the symbol, the date and time of the candle. So this row right here, so this data right here is candle 2033, which is cool because I'll show you something here in just a second, okay? And then, so now we go from date time, now we go to the open data. Is that right? Yeah, but I didn't want that showing up here. If P7, 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 P7. Oh, I'm off. That's probably what was going on here. Yeah, I think that's what was going on. Oh, hang on. If P7 does not equal, then else. Okay, no, that's right. Okay. If P7 does not equal, that's right. P7 does not. If P7 does not, that's right. Oh, I must have copied. I know what happened there. There we go. Okay, so now we have. So we have the candle number, the symbol, the date, time, and actually I should say candle, date, time, open, then we're going to do the high, and the high is going to be this. Right. Okay. So now we have the high data, the low data. Let's see, high, low. And then close. And the close, yep, okay. Okay, so that's the close data. Let me scroll over a little bit. And then last on this list is going to be volume. And volume, okay, so now you see we have all of the volume, all of the candle data. So we're no longer looking at this point, we're no longer looking at the bid price because we're looking at a candle now, a price candle. And hang on a second here. I'm going to shift this over a bit. I want this right here. Then all right. So this is our candle data. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to pop over on the news sheet. And I'm going to do a paste values only. And then we're going to sort this out here. Data sort. And check this because there's headers in there. And we're going to sort by candle order. I'm going to go from, okay, so initially let's see Z. Now we want to do A to Z. There we go. Let's get these all for the same size. All right. Okay. Okay, so that's the actual price candle now. Now we're looking at price candles. So this is the candle. Let's zoom in a little bit on this. This isn't very big. So now we're looking at, this is the candle that happened at 33 minutes into the 20th hour, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So this is the data that's being drawn onto the price chart. So let's take a look, right? So I'm going to copy. This is actually, let's see here. Let's go back to the price charts. We're doing Euro USD, so I'm going to make this full screen. I'm going to uncheck the auto scroll, and I'm going to drag this over to the center here. Something we can discuss later. Now I'm going to drop this line here, right click, click OK, and that line now it's positioned on the candle that we were looking at. I'm going to hit enter, enter the date, and here it is, boom, boom. That's as big as I can get with that. I can take that off. But this right here is the price candle. I think another way to do this would be just draw a line right there. Make it black. Okay, so this is the price candle at 33. All right, that's what it looks like. Go back to Excel. This information is that candle, and we got that information from the bid data. If we go back to the price chart, let's look at that. Zoom in on it, and you will see, scroll over here. And here we go. So that's that name, that's the date and time of the candle, which is 2033, which is what we wanted. So the open is 13672. So let's go back to Excel. The open 13672. So the high should be 13676, correct? And yes, sure enough it is. And here, so this is the date. This is the open. This is the high. Now we're going to look at the low, which is 13672. The low, 13672. Oops, hang on, I apologize for that. 13672. So that's, whoops. Okay, now we're on the close, which is 13676. 13676. Let's go back to the 13676, and then the volume is 5. Volume is 5. So this data right here, all of this data was used by Metatrader 4 to create this data right here that we see in Metatrader 4. And the way it's displayed in Metatrader 4 is as a price candle. Now, if it's a bar chart, same thing. You have the open, which is on the left, the close is on the right, and then you have the movement in the middle. And here's the line chart. So that little dot right there, that's that movement. That's the close of that candle. All right. Now let's get back into Excel real quick. Let's go back to that tab. Okay. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Let's go like 125. Not so big. Okay, and here is the data we're going to do. Boom. And now let's go into Insert. And insert this chart. And look at this. I just drop this chart in there. Make it a little bigger. And that's the price candle data. That's what it looks like in Excel. So we started with the bid data. We converted the bid data to candle data. We took the candle data and we created the chart within Excel. You can see how easy it was. Not difficult at all. And so look at this right here. Let's take a snapshot real quick. Control V. I'm going to just copy this part of the chart. Control copy. Boom. And I'm going to shrink this up a little bit. Okay. And then let's go back to the chart, the price chart. So what we're going to be looking at is these candles. Okay, come on. Unselect. There we go. Now let's go back to the snapshot I just took. Okay. See how they look the same? Because they're using the same data. Excel is just a really powerful tool. And so there's a lot of different things we can do from this point, but this gives you, this takes you full circle. This takes you from the raw BidAsk data to price candles, Metatrader 4 style. Now this is a bid price. So on the next video, we'll do an ask price, and we'll put them side by side and see what's different. All right. Okay. No more apologies about time. We're in this really technical part here, so it's just going to take a little bit longer with these videos at this point. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. This is, once you have this knowledge like in your head and you can roll with it really easily, there's so much you can do, and that's the whole point here. So I want to empower you to be able to research and do whatever it is that you're thinking about as far as trading. And this is a great way to start. So thank you for joining me. This is James Possible. I will see you on the next video. Talk soon.